Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes, and the artists drawing them have to bring them to life in their own way. And sometimes they'll look different. Some issues, everyone is drawn like a golden era bodybuilder, and other times, you'll see a bit more variety. But have you ever wondered how the artists themselves actually picture these heroes and their physiques in real life? Well, today, we have that answer.
Yo dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighbor JaxBlade is back, and today's video is actually inspired by a post that I favorited 10 to 12 years ago that I just found recently. Like, I was digging for something old, and I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh my god, this is a peak video idea.
This was written by Andrew Wheeler on Comics Alliance website back in 2012. And it talks about how comic artists typically design these characters and use the phrase Olympic level athlete to describe their body types. But in reality, as we've talked about before on this channel, Olympic athlete physiques have variety. They ain't all fitness models, and a lot of the time many of the characters are just drawn with the same build. So they asked 4 different artists who are known for adding variety to the looks of their characters, how they think realistically each character is built, their inspiration, and how they think each of them would look in real life. Some of the answers were very eye-opening, but some of them I do have like a bit of disagreement with. But before we get into that, if you want to look good like a superhero, this video is sponsored by Tiege Hanley. Most heroes always look in their best, and you can do the same without a horrific accident empowering you. If you got a good training program and good nutrition plan, take care of your hygiene as well. Tiege Hanley Skincare makes taking care of your skin incredibly easy and effective for any dude trying to improve their appearance, and I've been using it consistently. It comes with a 4-step follow-along process when you wake up and before bed, and helps you get the dirt and grime off daily. The morning moisturizer helps protect against the sun, and the night one helps take care of you when you're sleeping. I've been using Tiege Hanley for the last couple years before they sponsored me, and I think it's been the icing on the cake with my training and diet being on point. Start today, and a few weeks from now, you'll see noticeable differences. And because Tiege is sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description to get 30% off your first skincare system and a free gift. Plus, as a member, you'll also get 20% off for life. Click the first link in the description or pinned to get Wash in AM for only $9. That's right, only $9. This is an exclusive opportunity to transform your skin and confidence and just do the bare minimum for yourself to improve. But click those links, and now back to some superhero gains. So these artists were given a list of 8 superheroes and asked to rank them by size and athletic body types to see what the general consensus was about these heroes and how they should look in real life. The heroes were Batman, Captain America, Flash, Namor, Nightwing, Spider-Man, Superman, and Thor, since all 8 could conceivably be drawn on the same frame.
Though Spider-Man being as jacked as Thor is just silly to me, but this is how the artists ranked them from biggest to smallest, and because this is my video as well, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna rank them how I personally think they would look from biggest to smallest as well.
So if you look at this image here, this is how each of the artists rank them from biggest to smallest, and then this is how I personally rank them, and I'll give a quick reason why I chose what I chose. So number 1 at the very top, Thor, especially after playing God of War. I just like this idea of Thor being this towering giant. 2, Superman. I went back and forth because on one end, he doesn't need to lift at all. He just needs a yellow sun, so he doesn't necessarily need to be big. However, I personally like him being bigger than Batman.
So how'd you do Batman's voice?
Precise muscle control.
Plus, I have a pretty good ear. Does he look bigger to you?
Number 3, Captain America, because I just imagine Super Serum making you absolutely just peak in all physical regards. Then number 4, Batman, due to his constant weight training, and I just picture him as like a light heavyweight MMA fighter because he has to still be really light on his feet. Number 5, Nightwing, I picture like a jack gymnast. Number 6, a mariner, I'd like to see more like a buff swimmer. Number 7, Spider-Man, I got entire videos dedicated to that, but I like his PS4 build like this. Number 8, The Flash, to me, he's never needed to be this jacked. I think the TV show did him well in that regard. I personally think of him like the real life fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt. But this is why the artist chose what they chose. Everyone knew that Thor was the biggest and they draw him more like a pro bodybuilder. They said Superman was second for the fact he's drawn more like a pro football player, and they even mentioned what I said, and artist Perez straight up said, like, logically, of course, Superman's power has nothing to do with his muscles, but I think an imposing frame on someone who doesn't use his power to oppress is part of his point, which I dig a lot. Then they think of Captain America as a boxer or rugby player, though it was always suggested that he has a Marine's physique, as all 3 types could like perfectly describe that compactly muscular body.
Okay, but I still think Cap would be bigger though, because, you know, superhero steroids. But I see where you're coming from, so I got you.
For Batman, because he's an all-rounder, the artists think of him as either a triathlete or a mixed martial artist, so actually very similar to what I talked about in this video. Namor, unsurprisingly, was labeled a swimmer type of these 3 artists, but since the character is more of a brawler than a speedster, a water polo physique might fit. This is what they look like. Also, unsurprisingly, they said Flash would be a sprinter, though Androsovsky, I hope I said his name right, he said that, like, I think he would be more like a speed skater, little bitty guy up top with these massive rippling thighs and calves. And then for Nightwing, it's typically thought of him as a gymnast, but real gymnasts are often shorter and broader than Dick Grayson. And so, like, Perez was talking about it and said he's more like a swimmer body, and then McKelvey said he's more like a martial artist.
I'm still leaning towards taller gymnast.
As for Spider-Man, they said a nerdy, thinner gymnast or swimmer.
But funnily enough, they also talked about some ladies, and you know we love the brick house waifu women on this channel.
And so this is how the artists rank them. Now, this is how I would personally rank them. Number 1, She-Hulk, obviously. Like, you don't need to say anything about that. It's a freaking Hulk. And then 2, Wonder Woman is an Amazonian warrior. Again, I picture her muscular and tall, just not as buff as She-Hulk. 3, Power Girl. I think of my waifu friend, Autumn Ivy. Go give her a follow. She's really dope, super chill. But, like, that's how I picture, like, Power Girl being more, like, built like that. And then number 4, I think of Psylocke as one of those MMA girls with a really thick thighs to just crush your head, yeah. And then number 5, Catwoman, I think of as like a female gymnast. It just seems like that would fit her perfectly. Then number 6, regular Supergirl, I think of like a superhero fitness influencer. Now, I love this version of Kara from DC Superhero Girls, but she reminds me more of how I think of Power Girl, like that Autumn Ivy type body. And then they even had that as a premise of an entire episode of her being Power Girl. And I like Supergirl being muscly, but not like She-Hulk level yet, and not like too jacked. Number 7, Sue Storm, I think of as just an adult woman who goes to the gym frequently. And number 8, Kitty, aka Shadowcat. Since I just marathoned X-Men Evolution, I picture her more like a cheerleader with her athletics, or a dancer because of this peak scene. For the artists, everyone obviously chose She-Hulk as a bodybuilder. Andrusovsky put Power Girl and Wonder Woman in the same category, but in different weight classes of bodybuilding. And then Jamie McKelvey said that Wonder Woman could do with a bit more muscle than she's usually shown with, and I absolutely agree with that. Wonder Woman is literally waifu royalty. We need to see her with some gains. Marcus 2 classed Wonder Woman as a mixed martial artist, while Ramon Perez said she's an aerobic gymnast. Power Girl is a swimmer according to Perez, and a weightlifter according to McKelvey. And Psylocke has a martial artist build, but Perez suggested figure skater because those thighs, god dang. Catwoman is a gymnast, but also could be drawn like a cyclist. Androsovsky thought that Supergirl would have bigger muscles than either Psylocke or Catwoman, but that her youth would make her smaller than either of them. Perez thought that she would be a swimmer, though also could be thought of as a basketball player. And given that Power Girl and Supergirl are two versions of the same character, it's noticeable that they should be placed together. They said Kitty and Sue would be very close to each other because of their non-contact powers, but they also said Sue Storm could be a soccer player or just someone who's generally in shape, but also categorized as a MILF. Same goes for Elastigirl. But they also said Shadowcat could be a rhythmic gymnast or a roller derby jammer.
It also says here that there's less agreement on the women both in terms of ranking their size and determining their type, which suggests that the comic industry does not do a good job of distinguishing female body types, and that's... You know, it kind of makes sense. There's a lot of like female characters who are very similar compared to like male characters who are either like, you know, they all look like, you know, the New 52 Justice League, or they're up and down. Like, I remember in one of my Marvel books, they actually have like, you know, different sizes for like things because there's more variety, but I can understand why women would not be the same boat. And then like, you know, so many women, it says, aren't usually drawn like She-Hulk or Shadowcat, so that's probably why there's more like, you know, discrepancy there in that regard. But you know, this is really interesting. But I really genuinely enjoy just reading through this because like y'all, I just love this nerd stuff along with the fitness stuff. But like, it is funny how like every dude in comics is usually drawn like, you know, prime Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff like that. So it's nice to have that bit of variety, you know? Because sometimes you watch or read something and it's like, wait, why is this person jacked though?
Why is this dude ripped?
Before today, this fella was your average Joe.
Average Joe? Are you serious?
Like, I guarantee, if you watch the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, the 90s Spider-Man tune is mega guilty of this. Everyone in that show is jacked. J. Jonah's jacked, Punisher's friend is jacked, a variety of people are jacked, and it's just like, wait, why? Sometimes I feel like I'm watching that one Action Hero episode of Fairly Odd Parents, you know? Because, like, if everyone was just this jacked, then it's like, okay, well, then muscles, they don't stand out anymore, and it's, like, less impressive with, like, the heroes who are supposed to be, like, these towers of people Joe and like civilian Joe over there is like built like Broly. But if you made it this far in the video, type Olympian comics down below just to show the love, and be sure to hit that bell icon and subscribe and hit the like button or dislike button if you hate the video. And then tell me who has your favorite, you know, physique in comics, and then like how you think of them, like I was talking about earlier. And maybe I could do this with like an anime thing, you know, that'd be crazy. And also for people out there who want programs to look like your favorite characters or any of the physiques we talked about today, check out all my programs in the links below. They've helped like thousands of people so far. That is not hyperbole. And I just hope y'all can go improve. Sorry I've been slow on uploads this month. Just been very, 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 very busy. Thank you to the patrons on screen. And remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, Momentai. This May we're gonna go hard, but yeah, this is just crazy. Like some of these guys, it's just like, why are you jacked, sir? Why are you jacked?